Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Like I said, my name is Halia. I am a golden ITAN card holder, and I've been with Archer and Evo for 4 years now. And for like three and a half of those 4 years, I have been working a full-time job with this business alongside. So I really honed in on my own systems. I really honed in on being organized and making sure everything was in place and set up so that way I could be successful without overworking myself and without getting burnt out because I feel like that's something that's really important. And when a lot of times I've noticed with myself and with other agents is when people are doing this alongside another job and they're working to build this up, either to just become another like supplemental income source or to become their full time eventually, they're doing too many things at one time, right? And it's too much, and people get overwhelmed and get burnt out. So I have always been a type A person. And for those of you guys who don't know me, my girlfriend is in here. Her name is Tracy Aguilar. She can tell you I can get very anal sometimes, okay? But I've always been a type A type of person. I've always really loved making things organized and color coded and just having things like settled, okay? Because as long as everything is settled on the outside, like my brain can process and think. So I have taught a lot of different trainings for my team over the years on how to stay organized, different organization tips, different system tips, and I figured I would open this up for everybody. So now that is how the Systems for Success training was born. If you guys, how many of you guys were here last session? I was going to say last week, but it's been 2 weeks now. So last session, I was here. Me. Sadly, no worries. We're going to do a quick recap. You can also find the recorded version in the Evo Enterprises Facebook group if you guys weren't here. Okay, so last session, perfect. We do have a lot of people that were. Last session, we kind of did a like broad overview of what a system is, right? All of those different things. So let me pull my slides up. Today, we're going to be kind of diving deeper into two of the C's from my 4C framework. And I'm going to be giving you guys some examples. I'm going to show you guys exactly what I do and how I do it. And then I'm going to ask you guys for a little bit of participation today and see what you guys are currently doing and how we can improve that, okay? So let's go ahead and dive in. So, like I said, quick recap from last session. We covered what systems actually are, why they matter in your business, and how they can support consistency and growth. And we discussed the 4 C's of Systems for Success. So, every system is going to fall into one of these things, or sometimes they can kind of like be multiple, right? So, it's either going to be for clarity, for capture, for control, or consistency, okay? So those are the things it's going to help you with, right? It's either going to help you be clear, it's going to help you capture some sort of idea, help you get in control over something, and help you be consistent. Those are the 4 things that your system should be helping you with in one way or another, okay? Today, we're going to really dive deep into clarity capture and what those two are. And I'm going to, like I said, give you guys examples of things that I personally do for these and how to like track them. I do know last time I gave you the commission tracking form, right? Um, I gave that to you guys, right? Last time, right? I'm trying to remember. Yes. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Shauna. So that is a really good system to have where you can just plug in your exact commissions. It helps you to keep track of your commissions. Um, as well as like in addition to the commission tracking form and the commission hubs in your travel site. Okay. But that's a really great system and an example that I love to share as well. And I'll even share some different things that actually Tracy and I came up with this past weekend for like content and stuff like that. Okay. So first, and if you guys at any time have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat, okay? I will be in there checking questions throughout this meeting. But first, let's talk about clarity, okay? The recording is in the Evolution Enterprises Facebook group. If you search my name, it should pop up, and that commission tracking form should be in the description of the YouTube channel, the YouTube video. If it's not, let me know. And I'm more than happy to share it again, but it should be in there for you guys. Okay, so like I said, we need to talk about clarity, okay, and why it's going to come first. There is nothing to organize if your brain is all jumbled up in a little, mesh. Okay, there's nothing to organize. So, first, before we do anything, before we try to create any type of system, we have to have some sort of clarity. We have to know at least what do we want this specific system to help with, right? Are we wanting to help track our leads? Are we wanting to help track our commissions? Are we wanting to help track our bookings? Are we wanting to help track our prospects who are agents who enroll? Like, what are you wanting to do with this system, right? Now, I have a question for you guys. What is something in your business right now that you feel are you're kind of just like jumbled up with and you don't even know where to start with it, so you haven't even touched it yet? It could be anything. It could be travel booking, it could be team building, it could be social media, but what is something, and you guys can drop this in the chat, that you feel in your business you just have literally no idea where to start and or how to even start it? Team building, okay, social media marketing, everything, team building and social media, getting clients, team building, trainings, team building, social media, everything. Okay. Building itineraries, booking. Okay, for those that said team building, do you guys know what team building is? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so you guys have one step that you've completed, right? Do you have a goal with what you want to achieve with team building? And I'm going to break this down for everything else too, guys. Don't worry. Yes, no. Okay, Carrie, that's your problem. That's your first step, right? Yes, yes. And for those who do have a goal, put that goal in the chat. So, Carrie, that's your first step. Come up with a goal, whether it is a number of agents, whether it is an income amount, come up with a goal, right? You need to have something clear first before we create everything else. If you don't know what your goal is, then we can't create the system to help you get there, right? To become silver by end of 26, gold by April 30th. Okay. For those who are saying silver, how many ages does it take to get to silver? 9. Yes, good job. For those who are saying gold, how many ages does it take to get to gold? What are the requirements there? 42. Okay. 15 plus 3 silver. Good. Okay. So we have our clarity, right? We know what we want to do. We know the requirements it takes to achieve those things. All right. Now we need to start focusing on the steps that it's going to take to get there, right? And we can start building that up. All right. And we're going to get into that in a second. Okay. The point of this is clarity first. Now, for those, oh, perfect. Actually, Tanya, that actually helps me because I was skipping over a step. So Tanya says she has 2 agents, and Tanya, your goal was silver, right? So you know you need 7 more. Okay, perfect. Great. Everybody else, how many agents do you currently have? And what was your goal again? And how many do you need to get there? So 0 and silver. So 9, Joan, perfect. 4, you need 4. Okay, 0. So we need 9. 0, so we need 9. 0 and gold, so we need 42. Okay. 3 and I think silver, so we need 6 more. Okay. 9 but 11 on my team. Perfect, Rebecca. I love that, right? Because now you have other people building as well. So you need 6 more. I had to do math in my head real quick, right? 6 more on your main account, right? And then you need those other people to build as well. Okay. And they need to get to silver too. So you need to help them get to silver, right? 3 bronze, silver, gold. Shauna, what is your goal? Because those are 3 different things. 39 needed for gold. Okay, perfect. Beautiful. Okay, so now we have our goal. what it takes to get there and what we specifically need in order to get there, right? Perfect. I want to make sure you guys are writing that stuff down somewhere, okay? Now, the other things that people said they don't even know where to start with, right? Social media marketing, okay? Let me actually write these down so I don't lose them in the chat, you guys, because I want to make sure I get to all of you guys. Okay, so social media marketing, we did team building, social media, getting clients, that ties in with social media, team building, trainings, building itineraries, and travel bookings. Okay, I'm just writing these down so I can make sure I get to you. Tracking commissions. Well, Peggy, tracking commissions, make sure you get that commission tracking spreadsheet that I sent out. Yes, last session. It has the I can actually just drop it again, but it's already set up for you, so you can just utilize that. Do 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 do. I know I created one specifically for you guys. Let's see. Commission. Here we go. So it has all of this stuff already for you, so you can just go in and plug it in, right? I'll drop it in the chat again. I'm gonna mute everybody just so I don't have an echo. Okay, let me come back up. Organize over 30 bookings, booking inquiries for bookings and where I'm at in the process. Rebecca, do you have a CRM? And then also, Cheryl, I'm just seeing your message in here that you don't even know what the levels are. That's totally fine. What would your income goal be, right? Because we can get there, but what would your income goal be? Okay, so I think I caught up with all of them. Perfect. Okay, so for those that said social media marketing, how many of you have marketed on social media before? Whether it's, or actually, how many of you have posted at all on social media before or have a social media account? We're actually going to go, I'm going to ignore those answers because I'm even going to go even simpler. How many of you guys have ever opened up a social media account before? Me, already had one. Yes. Okay. So you guys already have one step completed, right? You already have the account. How many of you guys have ever posted anything on a social media platform before? Doesn't have to be for the business, just anything at all. Yes, yes, me. Okay. You guys already have step two. You have a social media account. You've posted something in the past. You already know how to do those things, correct? Yes. Perfect. Now, in the next 30 days, with the social media you guys have right now, what do you want to be completed with one of them? And if you've never been on one of them, then you have your first two assignments. Go create an account and we're going to post one thing. But in the next 30 days, what do you want to achieve on social media? And let's be realistic, right? Because social media is a long game. So what would you want to achieve? Is it going to be increase your following account? Is it going to be get some engagement on your page? Is it going to be get maybe one inquiry? What do you want to achieve in the next 30 days? Followers, more followers. I join other sites to talk to people to get potential clients. Yes, exactly. Get engagement, obtain clients and bookings, increase followers, engagement, post one video per day, increase clients. Editing is hard. That's totally fine, Priscilla. The editing will get easier the more that you practice, right? Post one times per day on TikTok and have been consistent the last 6 days. Need followers, had 5 inquiries within the last couple days. Love that. Get 2 inquiries, all of the above, 1 to 2 qualified leads per week, but the next 30, okay. Engagement's consistent in engagement, get a new client or team member, followers, and inquiries. Okay, for those of you who are saying followers, how many followers are you wanting to get in the next 30 days? And do we know how many followers are realistic to get in 30 days? Do you guys kind of see where I'm going with this? Right? I want to check in before we keep going. No, you don't need to actually see me, but like, do you understand where I'm going with this? Is what I meant. Yes. Okay. Whatever system you guys are trying to create, right? Clarity, exactly. You need to be clear on what you're wanting to achieve, right? You can have all of these goals, you can have all these things that you need help with, but you need to be clear and you need to be specific as possible, you guys, okay? As specific. Continue asking yourself these questions. Okay, what do I want to achieve? All right, write it out, right? Write it out. That's what I sit here and do, and I know that I want to improve and I know that I want to move and I know that I want to do these things, but I really don't know where to start or what I want to do, right? I sit here and I go, okay, well, what do I want to achieve? Like, what if I could snap my fingers and change my life right now, what does my life look like? How much income am I making? What does my social media look like, right? What does my team size look like? What does my team name look like? Like all of these things, right? You want to get super, super, super specific because once you have that clarity on where you're going, you can start building the path to get there. And that's where systems come in, right? So we need to know if we're going to create a tool, a tracker, some sort of routine to help us, some sort of automation, right? Without knowing what we're doing, the system isn't going to stick, right? Because it's going to kind of be still all jumbled up. All right. So where I start with this, right? And you guys have already kind of been working through it with me, is I will write down everything. I'll write down the things I want to achieve. I'll write down the things that I need to do for my business. I will start brain dumping, okay? And I literally this is my most recent one. It's not as organized as I like it to be, but it got the job done still, right? So I literally just write down every single task that I know that I need to do. And then I'll do like goals for the month, okay? So this one wasn't as detailed as previous months because I was like, I just need to get whatever's going on in here out of there. I can figure out the rest later, right? And that's really the goal of brain dumping is to get whatever the heck is happening in here and swirling all over the place and causing all the anxiety and the overwhelm and the overthinking and all get it the heck out. Okay? We're just getting it out of our brain. So that's what this is. It just goes on to here. Okay? That's the first step. Whether it's your goals, whether it's to-do lists, whether it's whatever, whether it's commissions, right? Bookings that you know that you have, whatever it is, get it out. Okay? That's the first step. Where is it? Okay. Like I said, we need to know what we're actually tracking. And then once you know what you're looking for, you can utilize this to know what actually moves the needle, right? That's why I was asking you guys, do you know what is a realistic follower account for 30 days? Do you know what it takes to get to silver? Do you know what it takes to get to IATAN? Do you know how many bookings you want to achieve, right? Once you know those things, we can start kind of planning for them, right? What matters most currently. So that's why I said, what are your guys' goals, right? What do you want to achieve in the next 30 days? Because Rebecca's goals, and I'm just going to pick somebody else, whoever I see, and Carrie's goals can be completely different, right? I can't build a system that will work for every single person 24/7, but if I know Carrie's goals, I know what she needs to do, then I can build a system to help her. And then I can build a system for Rebecca. And they might overlap, right? But they're going to be different for that specific person. Okay. And what does success look like for you, right? This is where, again, we're talking about what do you need? How can we fit this into your life? How can we make it work for you and your routine that you're currently doing? Or how can we change your routine to make it work better for you in your life and what you want to achieve? Okay. So, like I said, brain dump. I do this for tasks. I do this to build myself a new routine. I do this for everything. All right. One of my favorite things to do, and I actually got this from my mentor, Sarah. Oh, wait, Canva's over here. Is if I'm trying to build a new routine, and I'll share this with you guys as well, but if I'm trying to build a new routine, I will start tracking my time, what I'm doing every day, right? And I will be, is it this one? Oh no, it's this one. And can you stop, please? Sorry, my cat. And I will be as detailed as possible. All right. Let me, there we go. I will be as detailed as possible. You can see there's even a little space for you to brain dump, write tasks, write priorities. But I'll do this for about 3, 4 days. Okay, 3, 4 days to show as much as I can on what my day to day looks like from the time that I wake up. This starts at like 4 a.m. You guys don't have to be waking up at 4 a.m., but it starts that early, right? So from the time that I wake up to the time that I go to bed. Okay. And you guys again can adjust the time frames if you need to. But I write down every single thing that I'm doing in 30-minute increments in order to make sure, in order to see, be able to visually see what my days look like and where can I actually adjust my days, right? Where can I see, okay, well, I actually have 10 minutes during this time, right? During this break. Maybe instead of just kind of sitting there mindlessly scrolling, I'll go and post something first and then I'll kind of scroll a little bit and engage, right? That's a different way to adjust a routine and make time out of the time that you already have. Okay. So I'm going to share this with you. No, I'll write this during the day. Like I will track my day during the day. So you can have this on your phone. When I first was doing it, before I actually had like a whole um, Canva doc, I literally just had like a notes app. I don't know if I still have it. Let me see. That way I can show you guys. I don't know if I still have it. Because it was like a year ago. Yeah, I deleted it. Um, but I literally just started a notes app and I just kind of wrote this out myself. So I had a reminder on my phone every 30 minutes or every hour to go in and just write on my notes app what I was doing in that hour. But now that you have Canva, if you have it on your phone too, you can do that too. Let me actually create this as a template for you guys. And it's in English and Spanish. So you guys have, if you have any Spanish agents or Spanish agents that you know or have on your team, there's one in Spanish too on the second page, okay? But this will help you guys track your time to help you guys see how productive you're being, okay? Now, for those of you that do this over the next week or so, feel free to DM me on Facebook, okay? I would be more than happy to help kind of audit your days and let you guys know where I think you guys can switch things up based off of what your goals. So send it to me after minimum 3 days, okay? Tell me, hey, these are my goals. This is what I'm currently doing. I'm more than happy to kind of audit that and help you guys with that, okay? But I am going to preface this with saying I do not like to sugarcoat things. Okay. So I will be nice about it, but I will also tell you my honest opinions. Okay. Because I feel like that's really what's going to be helpful. So, like I said, feel free to send these to me. I'm more than happy to help you kind of audit your time whether you're working another job, like be as, or just doing this full time or whatever you're doing, right? Be as specific as possible with this. Even if you're at work, I want to know what you're doing at work, right? What does your work day look like? When I started, I was a nanny for two boys. So I wrote out what my schedule was like as the nanny, right? The what's it called? Hour by hour, what I was doing with them, okay? So be as specific as possible. Yeah, it's just my name, but you guys can also find me in the Evo Enterprises group. Let's go back. Okay, so once we have whether it's the brain dump to-do list, whether it's the tracking of the hours, right? Once we have like some sort of clarity on getting everything out of our head, we want to start kind of organizing it, right? Based off of goals, based off of short-term goals, long-term goals. Are they 30 days? Is this going to be your overall goal right now? For your tasks, what kind of tasks are they? Are they for your business? Are they for your life? Are they for your house? Are they for I have two dogs and six cats. Are they for your pets? Are they for your children? Like you want to be, again, as specific with those as possible. I love color coding, you guys. So I think I kind of showed this last time, and I'm gonna stop sharing my screen so you guys can fully see. I'm gonna see if I can like pin myself so you guys can. There we go. Am I pinned for everybody or just for me? Can everybody see me like big, like on the whole screen? Just me? Great. Lovely. Okay, I think it's this one. Okay. Can everybody see me big? Perfect. All right, cool. So I have an old one that was like really, really good. I think it should be. It was a brain dump that I did. Oh, just kidding. It's probably in my other one. Oh, look, this is actually perfect. We're gonna do two things. This was another routine type of thing, right? So I wrote out after I tracked my days, right? Changed them up. And then I wrote out what type of routine I would like to do. Okay, this would be my goal routine, right? So I was like, wait, putting the time that I wanted to get up, exactly what I would do. And I was going by 30 minutes to an hour increments in here, right? And I was just writing out like, if I could, again, snap my fingers and wake up tomorrow and already be automatically in this routine like it was second nature, this is what I would want to do, right? So what time I would wake up, what I would do, what time I would start doing the next tasks, exactly what I would want to do. Like I broke these down very, very, very specifically, all the way down to bedtime, right? So you guys can also write out that, like, what is your ideal routine? But also give yourself some grace um, when you're sleeping. So brain dump. Okay, all the things that I need to do. Then you guys can see they're underlined. I don't know how well you can tell that it's different colors, but they're underlined in different colors. Okay, because then I have my little key right here. I have work/team stuff, right? Personal, household. So I organized them by section of whatever they fell under in this little section for that specific brain dump. They change on by based on brain dumps. The colors change based off of whatever I see in front of me. Like it doesn't have to always be the same. And then I start kind of ranking them. So you guys can see kind of like the numbers circled here. I rank them by most important to least important in that specific category. Okay. Then I rewrite it. Then when it's not all like this is chaotic. This makes my brain kind of freak out a little bit, right? This is a little bit easier to follow, okay? So I write out the category of whatever that specific task is falling under, and I write those tasks in order of whatever I figured felt was most important, right? Most important to least important is how I did it. That helps me set up my to-do list every day. So I like to do these weekly and typically on like Sundays, right? And I get ready for Monday for the next week. And then this helps me set up my to-do list for that week. So I'll come in here and I'll kind of look at the different tasks and things like that. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Another brain dump that I did, right? Or thing to kind of help myself get organized for my social media people. Okay. I love, 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 love ChatGPT. I work with it every single day, multiple times a day. Okay. What I did when I was working on building up a system for me to help me stay consistent with my social media and with the goals that I wanted to reach, right? Which is why I was asking you guys, what are your goals, right? Told ChatGPT, these are my goals for X platform, right? These are my goals for Instagram. I need you to act as an Instagram expert and help me get to my goals, right? Tell me what I need to do, give me strategies, give me tips, all of the things, right? And I did that for each social media platform that I wanted to grow on. I then had it help me create a checklist, a daily checklist of things to do, which I actually think I might have that on Canva as well, you guys. Let me see. But I wrote it out. Okay. So I wrote it out. There's Threads, LinkedIn, personal versus business page, Nextdoor. That should have business page on it too. Alignable, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, right? I wrote out every single thing. Okay. What is this? Oh, this is another brain dump. I think I might have, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. Okay. I think I might have that on Canva too. Let's see. Um, ha 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 ha. I do, you guys. Okay. Perfect. Now you guys can change this, right? You guys can update it. This is just going to help you guys get like kind of like a starting checkpoint. Okay. I'll share this with you guys as well. But this is gonna just kind of help you get a starting checkpoint of things to like work with. Plug this into ChatGPT, you guys, and say, I have this checklist. I'm gonna actually type it for you. I have this social media checklist. Please. Um, we're gonna actually change this. I need you to act like a expert. And you guys would have a different chat to for each specific platform. And I'll show you guys what I mean by that in just a second. I'm writing this out for you guys. One second. Okay, so you guys can use something like this in chat, right? Obviously, fill in the name of the platform that you're wanting to use, that you're wanting to focus on for that specific chat. and then list your goals, right? What you want to achieve. Take a screenshot of your current profile and attach it. It's also going to help you audit your profile to better improve it, right? Because it's now going to be a expert. So what I mean by different chats, and I'm really going to expose myself here, is when you open up ChatGPT. Now, I will preface this by saying with ChatGPT, I do have the paid version of it. I think it's absolutely worth the $20, okay? But I was using the free version for a really long time beforehand. But you can have, every time you start to type something into here, it's going to start a new chat, right? You can go back to these chats and continue typing in them. So you can see I have Facebook business page. I have my team's Facebook group. I have LinkedIn jobs. I have TikTok strategy. I have fitness plan for anxiety because I have major social anxiety and I need help figuring that out, right? Travel business Facebook posts. All of these different things, right? Facebook post variations, Instagram growth strategy. I'm sure if I scroll down, we can probably find the other ones. I haven't used the other social medias in a long time, but you have TikTok live set up. Like you have all of these different chats, right? That I have 5 million of them. Okay. You can continue speaking in those chats. So like I can go into here we go, Facebook content strategy. I can come into here. I started training it, right? Based off of my specific Facebook style. If it wants to load, my chat has been giving me a hard time. Here we go. And I start to come in here and I just can go and like start saying, hey, I want posts for this week. And it gives me the posts, right? I can see all the way from the beginning of this specific chat, which takes a while. This specific chat, right? Where I'm telling it what I need it to do and how it's going to help me. Okay. All the way to, I think I was just in this one today, right? You can see all of that. How do you save chats and give them a title? So they automatically save there. Even in the free version, you guys, it should automatically stay there as long as you are logged in. Okay? Like I have this I use it on this one. I typically go into ChatGPT when I'm like training and stuff, and helping agents. This one. I go into this one. This one I don't pay for. Okay. But I'm logged in. You can see right here it says free, whereas my other one said paid, or at least it should say paid. But this one says free. I don't pay for this one, and it still saves those chats. And then once it creates those, right, you can click on these three little dots and hit rename and name it whatever you want to name it, right? So that's the one I typically use when, like I said, when I'm training, when I'm showing somebody how to do something or creating like a script for them. That way I don't mess up my chat, right? Because then my chat will start taking all types of other people's stuff, and I don't want that. But you have to make sure you're logged in. See right here on this one is mine that I typically use. It says plus. Okay. So even on the free version, you guys, your chats will be saved as long as you are logged in. All right. Okay. There we go. So at minimum, clarity means knowing what a lead is versus a client, right? The differences, who you're actively working with, who needs follow-ups, and this could be for clients or prospects, what action needs to happen this week, and what can wait, right? At minimum, you know kind of what you're going to be doing, what you're going to be tracking, and what you can kind of put on the back burner for maybe this week and attack it next week, right? Then we want to start with, oh, just kidding, clarity questions. I was getting ahead of myself. So this is where I was telling you guys, ask yourself those questions when you're doing those brain dumps, right? Who am I working with? What do I want to work with? Who needs to be followed up with? What needs to be followed up with, right? Is it going to be a person? Is it going to be a social media? What am I responsible for this week? What can I do? What actions actually create income. We talk a lot about income producing activities, right? What income producing activities do I need to do this week? Okay. What are the goals for this specific week? And how can I achieve those, right? This is where you're asking yourself those questions. You're getting specific with yourself. If you guys can't answer any of these, then you know clarity is missing and you know where to start. Okay. Now we're moving on to capture. So again, this goes in with brain dumping, right? So clarity, brain dumping kind of goes in with clarity and capture. Same thing with the time tracker and the checklist, right? Um, Nothing should be living in your head up here. Okay? Everything has to have some sort of place to go. So capture is going to be, like I said, that brain dump, notes, um, the commission tracking that we shared, the time tracking, right? This is all capturing these things, okay? So leads, client notes, follow-ups, ideas, to-dos. For those of you who have like ADHD or any type of anything else like that, I what I've found works for a lot of people with ADHD, ADD, any other kind of like um what is it called? Neurodivergency. I was blanking on the name. What I've found is instead of brain dumping all at once, and I don't know if Casey is in here. Let me see. She's not. I'm gonna have to yell at her later. But what I found, and Casey can vouch for me, but when you guys create some sort of notes app, or I don't know what you guys have for Androids, I'm so sorry, but iPhones, we have notes app, right? You can title the notes app Brain Dump. And then when you get your ideas that pop into your head, just go in and type them into here, right? Type them in, get them out of your head, put them here. Then you want to schedule, I don't know, an hour, 30 minutes, a week, a day, whatever works best for you, to then go in and organize those tasks, right? Google Keep, perfect. Google Docs, whatever the heck you want to use. It really does not matter what you're using. The point is just something where you can easily access, and I find phone is the best way for everybody to easily access stuff. Um, Perfect. It connects to your PC, laptop too. Evernote, love it. But I find that is the best way to for everybody to be able to easy access stuff because everybody always has their phone on them, right? If they don't have it, they're probably looking for it. Okay. So write it down as soon as it comes into your brain, and then set time aside to organize and control it later. Okay. As far as the like time tracker, I think setting time an alarm every hour would be helpful for anybody, no matter if you are neurodivergent or neurotypical. And the commission tracking thing, if you guys have to adjust that spreadsheet, go for it. I think Tracy made it. She has major ADHD. Um, and she made it for me specifically, but she made it in a way that both of us can kind of understand. So I think that one's pretty universal. But again, you guys can adjust whatever you need to adjust, right? Same thing with the social media checklist. Like with Tracy, she looked at that thing, she said, "You're insane." Okay, she literally is. And I have it printed out too, and I like had her laminate it. So it can be physical, it can be digital, whatever works. I like using a mix of physical and digital. So like I said, I have it printed out and laminated, but I also have reminders on my Google Calendar, which I will talk about till the day I die. Okay. But the point is to get everything out and then we can kind of organize things later. Okay. Without capture, this is where the mental overload is going to come in, the overwhelm. You're going to start forgetting about conversations, which I'm coming from a place of I've done all of these things. Okay. You're going to start forgetting about conversations, whether it's with prospects or with potential clients or somebody you're talking to on Facebook that you just didn't, or on social media that you just forgot to like write down somewhere, right? You're going to miss follow-ups with prospects or clients. Again, I've done all of these things. You're going to have 5 million notebooks or sticky notes or notes on your notes app or Evernote with no title that are just random words or random sentences that don't mean anything, right? And you're going to be stressed out like all the time, you guys. this is where burnout is going to come in because you're going to feel like you constantly have so many things to do and not enough time to do them. And you don't even know what you're supposed to be doing because you just have so much you can't even figure it out, right? That's where that comes in. So we want to make sure we're being clear on what we're doing and then what our goals are, and then capturing the things that we know that we need to do or the goals that we do have, so then we can work towards building that out, okay? But I want you guys to know, and this last line is something that is very, very, very important to me. This is not a personal failure, okay? Because again, everything I'm sharing with you guys has been through personal experience, my own feelings, things like that. When I have felt the most overwhelmed or I've lost a prospect or a client because I forgot about them, right? I let it in the beginning like completely destroy me. Okay? I was like crying, I was so upset, I was speaking so negatively to myself and blaming myself and doing all of these things, just this negative cycle, right? That is not a personal failure. Okay? I did not fail. I'm not going to ever like, it's not like I'm never going to get a client or a prospect again. Like, no, okay? I had a misstep, right? And I made a mistake, but we can get past that. We can move on. All right. It's because I didn't have a system in place. And if you guys are feeling that same thing, it's because we don't have a system in place. Okay. And so, what we're here to do is start learning about how to create these systems and what these systems should have in them to start making them work for you. Okay. So, we just need to create that system that works best for you. All right. It's not a personal failure, it's a learning curve that we're going to take and move on from. Okay. Now, what does good capture look like? It's something that is going to be simple, that you can stay consistent with, easy to access, and easy to use. That's why I was saying for my ADHDers, right? Note on your phone, write it down real quick, move on. Set time aside to come back to it. If that doesn't work for you, like that doesn't work for me at all. But what works for me is one big brain dump at one time, right? Whatever is something that is simple and easy for you. And you guys can try out both different ways, right? You guys can talk to ChatGPT. If ChatGPT has a different way, try it, right? It's going to be a lot of trial and error until you find what works and then stick with it, okay? Good capture should not be complicated. It does not need to be perfect. I mean, you guys, look at like what is this, right? What are these things? I can barely read them sometimes, okay? It does not need to be perfect. It does not need to be looking nice or be for aesthetics. One thing, and I'm going to call Tracy out here, one thing that drives me crazy with her sometimes is when she's doing like a to-do list or she's doing like a note or whatever, she likes to make these like very pretty and cute like titles for her notes. And sometimes I'm just like, girl, we don't have time for this. Like, let's go, right? Come on, we can make the pretty titles later. Okay. But it works for her. I'm gonna leave it at that. It does work for her. But sometimes it doesn't need to, right? For those who are like caught up on like, oh my God, this has to look good. No, it just needs to get out of your brain. It just needs to be able to be functional. Okay. It needs to be simple because that is when you will consistently use it, when it doesn't take up a lot of mental load. Okay. Now, what do we need to be capturing? Leads, whether it's clients, prospects, or potential clients, potential prospects, right? Active clients. Who are you actively working with right now? Any follow-ups? When do you need to communicate with these active clients? When do you need to communicate with prospects? When do you need to communicate with your agents? I'm gonna go in there and say you should be talking to your team every single day, okay? Every single day. But when do you need to talk to them, right? What do you need to say to them? What do you need to get done for this week? What ideas do you have for your business, right? These are things that need to be captured in some way, shape, or form. And when they're not captured, that is when they fall through the cracks. That's when we miss those clients, or we miss out on those agents, or we miss those follow ups, or we forget to do XYZ. And we have all these great ideas, but we don't even know where to start with because they're just staying in here. Okay. Now, some things that I want you guys to avoid: using too many tools at one time. All right. Again, we're making things too complicated. We don't need to do that. Keep information in too many places. making things too complicated. It's gonna get lost. We don't need to do that. Okay. Keep it in one place. If you're gonna brain dump on your phone, if it links to like your computer and stuff, like mine does, great. But if you're gonna brain dump on your phone, don't then go grab a notebook to brain dump there. Okay, pick a spot. If you're gonna track leads on your Google Sheets, don't then go open up an Excel and track there, or vice versa, right? Keep it in one spot. Do not rely, and I'm gonna actually open up my camera thingy so I can see you guys because I closed it so I could read stuff. Do not, and I'm looking at all of your guys' faces right now. Do not rely on your memory. Okay? Do not rely on this thing. You're not gonna remember. You're gonna forget. And then you're gonna be like, oh my God, I forgot something. What am I supposed to be doing right now? I don't even remember. And then you're gonna sit there wondering what the heck you forgot. Then it's gonna turn into a whole thing. Okay, don't do it. Just don't do it. Okay? Write it down. Get a calendar. I'll show you guys my Google Calendar in a second too, so you guys can see that. And you guys, nothing is perfect. You are not perfect. I am not perfect. No system is perfect either. If we are constantly waiting for everything to be perfect, nothing's going to happen at all. Okay? If you guys want progress, if you guys want results, action is what's going to get you there. Waiting for things to happen is never going to get you guys there. Okay? I think that's my last slide. Okay, action step. Like I said, homework, okay? Write everything down. Try the different brain dumping things. Try the time tracker if that's what you struggle with. I would stick to one or two new things, okay? Do not overwhelm yourself. One or two new things, okay? Get everything out of your head and choose one place to capture things. Whether it's again with if you're brain dumping, choose one place to brain dump. If you're doing that time tracker, choose one place to track it. Okay. If you're tracking commissions, whatever your goal is, choose one place for it. Okay. Now, next session, we're going to be focusing on control and how we can control things in order to help what we can control, right? We're not going to control like the weather, but like what we can control within our business to help us get to our goals, right? Organizing things, lead and client tracking. I'll dive deeper into different things to utilize for those follow-up systems. And this is where things are going to start feeling lighter because we're going to start working on like automations and things like that. Okay. I do want to show you guys my Google Calendar, but I'll dive deeper into this next week with control because this is really where it comes in. But I want to show you guys at least for now so you guys can get an idea, right? So you guys can do different like calendars here, okay? Mainly what I want to show you guys, I'm sure you guys can all figure out how to get in here and create an event. But mainly what I want to show you guys is these different calendars here to like color coordinate things if you guys are into that, okay? So in settings, so in your Google Calendar, in settings, you're going to go to add calendar and you're going to go to create new calendar. You can name it whatever the heck you want to name it. And then you're going to hit create calendar. Okay. Once you do that, it'll pop up here based on alphabetical order. And you can click on these three dots to start changing the colors. You can add colors, you can use colors they have here, whatever the case you want to, whatever you want to happen, right? And you can even on your calendar choose what is being shown, what's not being shown. So let's say I didn't want to see trainings I'm hosting. I'm going to unclick that, it's going to take those all away. I'm going to click it, it's going to show it, right? Let's say I didn't want to see my where's my tasks? Here we go. I didn't want to see my tasks. It's going to take them all away. Let's say I didn't want to see the days that Tracy's working, which I absolutely do. But let's say I didn't, right? I'm going to unclick that. It's going to take those all away. Okay. So that is one of my favorite things to utilize is my Google Calendar. Because again, it goes from my laptop directly to my phone. I can set notifications. Let me actually go back. You can set notifications, right, when they're gonna happen. like my cardio that I need to do today, which, oh God, I don't want to do it, but I'm going to do it anyways, right? My tasks, I have all of these different notifications, right? TikTok Live notifications for it. Okay. And then I get those same notifications on my phone. Okay, let me open up the chat. Um, Chaske, I don't know if I'm saying your name right. I'm sorry if I'm not. I'm gonna post the recording in the Evo Enterprises Facebook group. Last session's recording is already in there. Again, if you just search my name, you should be able to find it. Or you can search Systems for Success and it should pop up as well. Yes, Carrie. Carrie, I was the same way. Okay. Like I said, I've always been a very type A person. I've always been very organized. And I kind of go a little crazy when I'm not organized. Okay. I'm not even gonna like lie to you guys. I go a little insane. All right. I get a little loopy when I'm not, when everything's kind of all over the place. And you, especially if you're brand new, you just kind of, like I said, trial and error and figure out things that work for you. I started with doing things that had worked for me previously. Like what I pulled a lot from when I first started was college, right? Because I started this like 2 years after I graduated college. So I was like, okay, like I still kind of remember what I would do, right? So I pulled a lot from kind of how I would get myself organized with college and I was working during college as well. So I tried a lot of that stuff, but then I also just started creating kind of new things that I was like, well, this really isn't working for me because it's not the same, but let me see if I can kind of do something else. And I just kind of started trying a bunch of different stuff until things stuck. So if things that I'm sharing don't work, don't like feel like you have to do them, right? Try some different ideas until something sticks for you. Of course, you guys. Oh, shoot, my watch. Okay. Oh, Tracy just got home. So you didn't even hear me talk to about your notes, did you?
I didn't hear anything. That's
You didn't.
like the first 10 minutes.
Yes. Okay, good. And I can promise you guys she's probably not going to go watch the recording. So we're
Yeah, I
good.
purposely will.
No, she says she will. Do you guys have any questions? Anything you guys want to share that you're doing that you want help with improving on or anything like that? And I think you guys should be able to unmute, but let me double check. Okay, you guys should be able to unmute now. Oh my God, you guys can still see her tail. Maya has been all up in my business. She's ridiculous. But now that Tracy's here, her bestie's here, she's going over there, so that's fine with me.
All right.
Of course she's purring. The calendar, yes, adding a new one. And like I said, I'll dive deeper into Google Calendar next session because that's a really good way to control things, right? Um, it's a lifesaver. So when you're in your Google Calendar, if you've already created it, right, you go to the settings menu and you hit settings. Then on the left-hand side where you see like general and all these different things, you see add calendar. You're going to click on the little drop down and you're going to click on create new calendar. Then you can name it whatever you want, right? However you want to organize that. And then once you have that name, you're going to hit create calendar. Once you do that, you're going to go press this back button. You're going to go back to your regular Google Calendar and you're going to scroll down to where it says my calendars. Then when you have one, you can click on the three dots next to it to change the colors. And you guys can add colors and you guys can choose, what you want to see, what you don't want to see, all of this stuff. And like I said, I'll dive deeper into all of that next session. I do a lot of mock bookings, but no one comments to engage. So, Miki, that is a different training. I will say that is a different training. But one thing I will say is like try putting a mock booking as a video. I've gotten more um engagement off of videos than I have like regular Facebook posts like that. And you guys can attend different like social media trainings to learn how to do that. Do you guys all actually know where to find the corporate trainings? I see a couple people nodding yes. No, yeah, okay. One no. So let's go ahead and go into it. So in your guys' back office, if you hit sign in, right? And here we go. If you scroll down, you have the list of corporate trainings here. Okay. I add whatever trainings I'm interested in attending, I add into my Google Calendar and I have notifications for them. So you have different trainings on Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, right? We have corporate trainings almost every day. All right. And if you guys have team trainings with your guys's teams, I would ask for that calendar too. If you guys don't know how to access it, ask your leadership and ask for that calendar. I go through my team's trainings and the corporate trainings and put, again, what I want to attend in my calendar. I make sure I also put the ones that I'm hosting in my calendar so I don't forget that I'm hosting them, right? You make sure you guys put that in there, okay? Where do we find pre-recorded corporate trainings? So if the trainings are recorded, then they will be posted in the Evolution Enterprises Facebook group. Are you guys all in that? I hope so. If not, get in there, okay? Get in there. There's a lot of resources in there. And you guys can go in and just search, whatever you need to search for. There's also a guide tab in there that you can go through the guide, see what's in there. I would get familiar with playing around with the Facebook group to get familiar with it and know like what your resources are and how to find them. Some of the corporate trainings are the same time every week. Some are like this one is uh, twice a month. Some are once a month. They're on, like I said, in your back office. You guys can go look at them, okay? Alrighty, guys. Any other questions? And I will be posting this in the Evolution Enterprise Facebook group. If you guys have any questions as well, feel free to drop the questions in the comments of that. I'll be checking on that every couple of days to make sure I'm not missing any comments. Alrighty, guys, we're good to go? Okay. Well, thank you guys. I will see you guys on the next one and have a great rest of your week, everybody. Bye.